It cannot matter. Turn to the side, pie got fat, and she call me daddy. And it got tighter. Money got longer, speed got louder, car got faster. Turn to the side, pie got fat, and she call me daddy. Diamonds on my coat. What's up, Andropoulos Nation? Beautiful Friday. Happy Friday to all of you at home. And hey, I woke up feeling like $3 million today. So let's just jump right into it. I've got the Christmas mug because we're celebrating today. Because hey, you never know. This could be the day where we take down $3 million. Ooh, this weekly winners thing. I saw this on Twitter, but I haven't actually seen it on the Underdog site. That's pretty cool. Might enter one of those eventually. But today, we are drafting another Best Ball Mania draft because we're trying to win $3 million. Go ahead and share the screen. Pop that up for all you lovely folks at home. Why isn't that going on the screen? There we go. Where is my overlay? Let me make sure the overlay is going to populate. 1 second, y'all. Login complete. Let's check this out. Need to fill this draft room. Still waiting on 4 people. So if any of y'all at home want to hop into a Best Ball Mania draft with yours truly, come on down. But one thing I was doing just before I hopped on the stream was I'm basically just trying to calculate the projected points for each of these matchups in Week 17, because we know how important Week 17 is for taking down Best Ball Mania. So I'm just looking at when each of these teams play. What are the average scores when the quarterbacks that are currently there put up the numbers? So like some of these have like really, really small sample sizes, so that could be an issue. But I just wanted to see if I could find any trends in the data. One thing which I did notice is this Ravens-Dolphins game is super, super interesting. Could be a game which we want to target. The sample sizes weren't too big, but when Lamar and Tua face off, typically there's fireworks. So if Lamar is healthy for Week 17, if Tua is healthy for Week 17, this could be a real big shootout. Let me check something real quick. Projected total. Let's go ahead and drag this down. Yeah, this Ravens-Dolphins game definitely projects to be the highest scoring one. Vikings-Packers, intuitively, like that makes sense. I needed more. I wanted to have more of that game. But these are the games which seem to be pretty intriguing from a totals perspective. Looks like our thing just filled. We are in the 103. Kind of beautiful. See Mr. Dread Pirate Roberts here in the 108 once again. Great to have you in the draft room, Mr. Dread Pirate Roberts. This should be a fun draft. I love having the 103 because that gives us the opportunity to get our wide receiver 1, Mr. Cooper Kupp, and we don't have to leave it up to chance to potentially miss out on our wide receiver 1. I know like there's arguments for taking him at 101 or 102. But we're going for ADP because we're trying to grab Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, since those are the consecutive or the consensus 101, 102. So I'll do that as well because I need to have a few of those shares. I don't have much Tyreek. I probably should have more Tyreek, especially since this game is projected to be so high scoring. But if you guys don't notice, this number 4, I don't know if this is exactly how it's going to play out, but from an average perspective, like Rams 35 points projected against the Giants. Like, that's pretty wild. Wow. Jamar Chase is here at 103 now. Are we going to gift Jamar Chase to Masterful? I think we are. Masterful, you go ahead, take Jamar Chase. I opted to take Cooper Kupp. I needed to take more Cooper Kupp. I want to take more Cooper Kupp. So here we go. We're taking Cooper Kupp 103 over Jamar Chase. We're leaning into our rankings a little bit heavier on that one. So popping up our rankings once again for all you lovely folks at home. I know you guys have been asking for the rankings. Don't worry, they will be up on the Undroppables website very, very soon. But looking at like our targets, we obviously want Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp plays into everything we want to do for our roster. Bijan Robinson goes 106. Dread Pirate Roberts, looks like you're going to get your picking of Tyreek Hill, Stephon Diggs, or Austin Eckler. Dread Pirate Roberts, you get Tyreek Hill to fall to you at 108. That's pretty incredible. I need to have more Tyreek Hill. I definitely need to have more Tyreek Hill. I don't have much of him at this point. I was hoping that his kind of the controversy around his news was going to push him down ADP a little bit. Looks like he did fall to Dread Pirate Roberts here at the 108. So that's probably very, very nice for you, especially since our number one game that we want to target is this Dolphins-Ravens game. But this Rams total is a nice one to chase as well. That is the second highest total on the slate. Ravens-Dolphins is pretty juicy. This Rams team is very interesting. I am going to keep my eye on that. This Cowboys total is pretty interesting. We'll keep my eye on that. This Titans total as well. That's pretty nice. The Seahawks total. We'd love to see that. Any other totals to note? Jets at 27.5 is pretty good. Broncos at 28.25. Chiefs at 30. So we can highlight all these guys. Packers surprisingly at 27. Obviously, that speaks more to Aaron Rodgers. But when we're looking at it from an average perspective, I mean, look at what Geno Smith did with the Seahawks. The coaching system's the same there. Matt LaFleur's still there. So I'm curious what actually happens up there. But looks like the teams we highlighted were the Jets, the Broncos, the Packers for our third tier, or I guess that's our fourth tier. Vikings, Chiefs, Cowboys, Titans, Seahawks as our third tier. So this tells me need more Derrick Henry, Treylon Burks, maybe even a little Ryan Tannehill down there at the end. Vikings, Chiefs, Cowboys, Seahawks. Yeah, that makes sense. Rams. I guess this Dolphins team. They're in this tier as well. This Ravens team, though, they looks to be clearly the Ravens-Dolphins game with a projected total of 70 points. It's pretty juicy. I don't think, obviously, it's a wild projection, probably not going to happen, but it's data that we could potentially chase. Let me look up something real quick. Over at Faro Analytics, we like to calculate these sorts of things. And looks like the Faro himself has a slightly different projection for this Baltimore-Miami game. So take everything that I'm saying about that Baltimore-Miami game, particularly with a grain of salt. But okay, DPR, Dread Pirate Roberts gets Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle. That's a pretty freaking strong start. Up at the 103, we have Cooper Kupp. Who am I feeling here? Who am I feeling with the Cooper Kupp sort of build? Oh, I'm on the clock. Devonta Smith is here for us. I don't think we want to take Devonta Smith, though. Ravens, Dolphins, Packers. Tony Pollard is here. Tony Pollard is pretty nice, especially since we do want to look at the Cowboys. Let's go ahead and take Tony Pollard. I'm just a fan of Tony Pollard. And I think Tony Pollard should be rated a little bit higher than where he's going at right now. I love the Cowboys, especially in this game against the Lions. I could probably target that game a little bit more since that does project to be a pretty high-scoring game, top 5 scoring game. We're back on the clock. Josh Allen is here for us as well as Josh Jacobs. The Bills, a little bit lower. Josh Jacobs, the Raiders, a little bit lower as well. I haven't been going a ton of elite quarterback, but you know what? I'm going to take Breece Hall here. We're going to go Tony Pollard, Breece Hall, because our Jets team looks to be pretty high scoring. I like being able to get this this 2 running back with the anchor wide receiver, and then we'll get more value as it falls. I guess I could have gone Josh Allen, but I just felt like going Tony Pollard, Breece Hall today. Feeling the vibes. It feels like this is the right way to draft this team. I know I love Josh Jacobs. I talk about Josh Jacobs all the time. This guy's team is pretty freaking strong with Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Josh Jacobs. Savage gets Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, Jonathan Taylor. Those are some pretty strong starts. But I'm betting on essentially these 3 offenses. I like Dallas and the Jets to be pretty consolidated offenses. I think the Jets are going to be a pretty run-heavy team. They're going to be a run the ball, pound the rock, play good defense sort of team, and then have Rodgers just to air it out when they need to. And then Tony Pollard, I think, is just going to get fed as the one on the Cowboys. Whoever the Cowboys won, RB1 is, always gets fed the rock a shit ton of times. Tony Pollard looks to be the clear RB1 on that roster. I know that they love him down there in Dallas. I was just in Dallas, and Tony Pollard was like all over the walls. They take their Pro Bowlers pretty seriously down in Dallas, and Tony Pollard was a Pro Bowler last year as an RB2 behind Ezekiel Elliott. So the fact that he gets full control of that backfield now is very, very high for his fantasy prospects this year. But we'll see who makes it back to us. There's a few ways we can play it. Jets, I know we like the Titans, Cowboys, Seahawks, Broncos, Packers, Dolphins, Vikings, Chiefs. The way we want to stack it, Eagles, we could do that Swift Goddard thing again. Purdy, Ayuk is an interesting one with some CSE, Debo Kittle. Where's Rams, Giants? So we have the Cup, Higbee, Nakua, bring back Danny, Saquon, Waller. We didn't get Saquon to follow to us. Maybe this is a Waller build. We'll see. This feels like it could be a Darren Waller build since I don't have much Darren Waller. And although we project the Giants to not score much, Darren Waller is that clear. He's basically the wide receiver 1 for that Giants team, and we can get him down in like the 8th round. So we'll look to build out our roster that way. A lot of, let's see what's happening in the draft room. We went 3 wide receiver with Jahmyr Gibbs. I like that with a little Amon-Ra. So he looks like he's going the Detroit route. I'm not going to be able to get that. So maybe we lean a little bit, or maybe we just go loan Tony Pollard, bet on Tony Pollard just to get the touchdowns in the just to get rushing touchdowns in this game against the Lions. So that would have to be the bet there. And then basically I'd have to just have this lone bet on the Rams. So I think we just have to stack the Rams players for just have those lone guys. So probably look at like Higbee, Stafford, Van Jefferson, Puka Nakua, something like that. We'll see how the room falls though. If Travis Etienne falls to us, he's going to be the pick. If not, okay, we like the bear side of that. Jeff Howard Roberts, who are you going to be? Who are you going to take today? Looks like you taking the entire clock. Christian Watson. I mean, you guys have all known my take on Christian Watson. I think he goes a little bit too early. I don't feel comfortable taking Christian Watson in this range, but his upside is definitely undeniable. Yeah, he's going to be a phenomenal player this year. But I think he's going to be very spiky. He definitely works more for best ball than for a managed league. So I think his best ball ADP is about right for where he should be, especially lumped in with all of those other wide receivers. It feels about right to go in this range. We're going to go DJ Moore on this team. DJ Moore and Cooper Kupp feels like a pretty strong wide receiver room. I don't know if you guys have been following along, but I freaking love DJ Moore. I think he's a phenomenal player. And I feel happy getting another share of DJ Moore here at the end of the 4th round. Because, I mean, to start things off, he was going at like the end of the 3rd, and I definitely was not comfortable taking him there. Now we can get him in like at the 4 or 5 turn. That feels much better. But okay, our Houston went Jalen Hurts, Justin Jefferson, Devonta Smith, Christian Kirk. That's a pretty strong way to build out the team. It feels weird taking Drake London is going on a bit of a slide. Fox Hunter, who you taking? Fox Hunter. He takes Herbie. That's beautiful. We're going to go ahead and take Justin Fields. Justin Fields is my top quarterback this year. I think his upside is undeniable. And I think the trend of like the market, one thing that I am really good at is noticing patterns. And I talked about this on the Unending Rebuild podcast this week, but we've seen this play out over the past 3-4 years. There was a quarterback up in Buffalo who had undeniable rushing upside. Wasn't that great of a passer, kind of mid as a passer. They bring in Stephon Diggs, a true alpha wide receiver 1. And what happens? Josh Allen rises into superstardom. He's considered one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. Then in Philadelphia, there's a former Heisman Trophy winner, former Bama quarterback who had undeniable rushing upside. Not that great of a passer. They bring in a true alpha wide receiver 1 in A.J. Brown, and Jalen Hurts rises to being considered one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. Gets drafted at the 2-3 turn in Best Ball Mania. Now, Justin Fields had the 2nd most rushing yards of all time from the quarterback position. Had almost 1,200 rushing yards. Only player to have more rushing yards than Justin Fields is Lamar Jackson. Unbelievable rusher of the football, great college prospect, great talent, but not great as a passer. What happens? They bring in a true alpha wide receiver 1 in DJ Moore. I think the sky's the limit for Justin Fields. And the fact that I get him in the 5th round as what quarterback am I taking him off the board as? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I took him off as the quarterback 7. I think that is his floor. His rushing upside is unbelievable. He's going to give you stability at the quarterback position where we're not banking on 4 touchdown weeks for our spike weeks. Justin Fields can run for 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. And then he gets all of his passing stats on top of that. I like it. I like Justin Fields a lot this year. And the fact that I can stack him with DJ Moore and have my wide receiver 1 is Cooper Kupp and my running backs is Tony Pollard and Breece Hall. This team feels very, very strong. We're going to build in a little bit more correlation the more that we continue to go down the roster. But let's see how the room is shaking out right now. So Masterful has gone these 4 wide receivers. Dread Pirate Roberts has gone 4 wide receivers. Scissors has gone 4 wide receivers. Ham has went 2 wide receivers, 4 running backs. So he's gone a little bit of an interesting route. So I'm curious to see how he's going to build out the rest of his roster. Moo has gone CD, Nick Chubb, Calvin Ridley, Joe Burrow, Dameon Pierce. He's kind of all over the place. He could hit, though, but Calvin Ridley is a pretty risky pick, especially if you're not stacking with Trevor Lawrence. So I'm surprised that he went with the Joe Burrow route and then didn't take Christian Kirk either. I think Christian Kirk went here at 412. So that feels pretty crazy. The Lamar Jackson owner went A.J. Brown, Saquon Barkley, Mike Williams, Hollywood. I bet he goes another wide receiver here. Who's the top wide receiver on the board? Jackson Smith and Jigba. I bet he goes JSN. There you go. JSN. Wow. Calling this shit as it goes. Dread Pirate Roberts, 4 receivers, 1 running back. Miles Sanders, top guy on the board. He doesn't feel like a Miles Sanders kind of guy. I bet you he goes like Deontay Johnson. Oh, Cam Akers. Okay. Cam Akers. That's a pretty solid pick. I could have also taken Cam Akers if he came back to me, but I think we're probably want to go a different route. Stephon Diggs, Jonathan Taylor, Josh Allen, Jerry Jeudy, Michael Pittman, Kyle Pitts. That is interesting. I mean, I love Kyle Pitts. I'm curious what Kyle Pitts' ADP is. 66. So I guess that's at about ADP. But here in the 6th round, there's a few ways we can play this. I did this yesterday, and we can do it again. But maybe we want to opt for a little bit of – it took Traylon Burks from me. So there's not a whole lot of correlation that we have here. I think I'm going to want to go Deontay Johnson again here. Deontay Johnson is just a guy that I truly love to bet on. And it feels pretty nice getting Deontay Johnson at this price, especially 7 picks after ADP here at the end of the 6th round as my wide receiver 3. I think the Steelers offense definitely takes a pretty sizable step forward, actually. So I'm excited to get Deontay Johnson as the wide receiver 3 on this team. I think he's a steal at his current ADP. I'm going to just continue to draft him. And it feels kind of wild that all of the Steelers pass catching options just fall so far in the draft. And yeah, we'll see how we want to play our next pick. Monty, DeAndre Swift, those are all solid picks. Mike Evans goes. Still don't love the Miles Sanders. I think I'm going to pass on Miles Sanders once again, and I'm going to go Darren Waller, like we said before, in the 7th round. Darren Waller has just immense upside in this Giants offense, just because I think that he is going to be the number 1 receiving option for the Giants, and he does offer us that bring back on Cooper Kupp. Darren Waller is a guy that can put up 30 points in a week. It's hard to find that sort of scoring from the tight end position. And Darren Waller is just a beast of a man. So I'm loving the roster that we have so far. So far, we have Justin Fields at quarterback. Our running backs are Tony Pollard and Breece Hall. Our wide receivers are Cooper Kupp, DJ Moore, Deontay Johnson, and our tight end is Darren Waller. Feels really strong. And I am loving our build so far. We have a decent correlation built in so far. We have Justin Fields plays the Cardinals in Week 16 too. Jesus Christ. He just plays in the playoffs. Justin Fields just plays cake defenses. I'm loving that. But looks like the wide receiver avalanche is starting to happen a little bit. We have this huge run of wide receivers after Darren Waller, Miles Sanders go. We're definitely going to have to focus a little bit more on the wide receiver position as we build out the rest of our team. But I'm happy that we went a little bit different than our team that we built yesterday, because we shored up our wide receiver 3 position with a guy who's going to earn a ton of targets in Deontay Johnson. Like all 3 of these guys are going to get targeted so much. And I'm excited to be able to get all of them on my team. I'm excited for this. Let's see. 1 second, guys. Got to see if my boy from Fair Analytics has posted anything for plays for today. Let me give him a little text. Guys, Fair Analytics, the MLB module is going crazy. We have been hitting so much. You guys should follow at P_Lytics. So go ahead and follow at P_Lytics. If you want to make money, follow at P_Lytics, Fair Analytics. You can join the Undroppables Discord. He's putting out insane bets, literally printing money over there at the Undroppables. I'm so what's the word? So lucky to be a part of this group. It's truly humbling to be a part of them, and it's a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun over there. But let's engage with the chat a little bit. Alex Mack says that's a really nice start. Only person I'm not extremely high on is Hall. Is that like a risk benefit pick? Many are betting on this year because everyone likes him. I'm high on Deontay and Waller at ADP. Yeah, I think just the upside with Breece Hall is, what if he doesn't go on the pup? And what if the reports are he's starting week 1? He's starting full speed week 1. What happens then? Breece Hall's ADP skyrockets to the end of the first round because his advanced metrics, his prospect the performances he put on at like 60% snap share last year were incredible. He was rising immediately just to become one of the best running backs in the NFL before he tore his ACL. He had a clean tear, so he should come back pretty quickly. And I'm very excited for Breece Hall this year. He's a guy that I definitely love to bet on. Alex also thinks Cup will be wide receiver 1. So glad to hear that we're on the same page there, Alex. Tank, what's good? How you doing, Tank? Good to see you here in the chat again. Love having you on. But let's get back to the draft. Alex also says, yeah, agree with Fields' upside. Yeah, Fields' upside is just incredible. He already broke out last year, so it's not even upside at this point. It's just like where is his ceiling? Where's the limit? Because I think he hits that ceiling this year. But I'm excited for everything coming for that Chicago Bears offense. But I know who I want to take. We'll see what Masterful does. Masterful. What you gonna do, Masterful? Tank said, started Cup, Taylor Henry yesterday. So you're doing excellent. That's great to hear. Antonio Gibson. You guys know my love for Antonio Gibson. He just keeps climbing draft boards. Just keeps climbing up. But we're going to take Jameson Williams here. The upside with Jameson Williams is incredible. And I love grabbing JMO as our 4th wide receiver. I know he's out the first 6 weeks, so we'll figure out ways to combat that. But Jameson Williams is just an undeniable upside pick. And I love having him on this team. But going back to it, we'll see who Fox Hunter goes. I know Michael Thomas is on the board, but I don't necessarily love taking Michael Thomas. I know the Saints are a team that we're projecting pretty well. But, okay, Michael Thomas goes anyways. And I know we love Mr. Kamara. So I think we're going to go Mr. Alvin Kamara here as our RB3. Just feels really good to get a guy like Alvin Kamara. And I think he's just massively mispriced. I know that there is all this worry about his potential suspension and everything. So I get it. I get the Kamara suspension risk. I understand why people are pushing Kamara down the board. But I already have 20% Alvin Kamara, and I will keep drafting Alvin Kamara because it's Alvin Kamara. Like when he plays, when he's healthy, he's going to dominate. I know he had a little bit of a lull last year, but there were some extenuating factors that weren't entirely his fault. But I expect him to bounce back in a big way. So I love Alvin Kamara. He's been one of my favorite running backs ever since he came into the NFL. So I'm going to keep drafting him. And if Alvin Kamara is the one that burns me, Alvin Kamara is the one that burns me. I'm not going to be too upset about that. Zero XD asks, what do you think Kamara's ADP is if he doesn't get suspended? I mean, I think he rises. Let's see the board. Let's check the board out. Alvin Kamara probably rises right near Joe Mixon. So but I expect Joe Mixon's ADP to rise as well. I expect Alvin Kamara's ADP to fall into this 4th, 5th round range, right around Aaron Jones. So the fact that I can get him in the 9th round is absolutely crazy. So I'm going to have a lot of Alvin Kamara. But let's see. Glad to have you all on the stream. It's a lot of fun getting to engage with you all. And this team that we're building is just an absolute monster team. We have the skinny JMO Tony Pollard stack. We have the skinny Cooper Kupp Darren Waller stack. We'll build those out a little bit more. And then we have the powerhouse stack, Justin Fields, DJ Moore. And the crazy thing is, all of the Chicago Bears players go so late. So I will look to stack a few more of those guys a little bit later on. But we have Cowboys, we have Lions. We need some more Titans. We missed out on Treylon Burks, so looks like we're going to miss on the Titans picks in this draft. Rams, we're going to be able to build that out. Packers, Vikings, we're not going to – it looks like we're missing on that. Dolphins, Ravens, we missed out on all those guys as well. But we're going to hope that all right, we got the Jets boy and Breece Hall. I mean, this team is going to be a mostly run-heavy team, so I like getting Breece Hall there. We got Alvin Kamara. I guess we could have also went Javonte because Javonte was there, but I like Alvin Kamara at the ADP because Alvin Kamara is not coming off the torn ACL. And we already have a torn ACL boy in Breece Hall. So our running back room is elite, but there are definitely still some question marks. So we're going to look to grab some additional players that can shore up our running back room. But we'll see who's available to us at our pick. Few ways we can go about our pick. I see a few guys that I really, really like. So we'll see. We'll see. But hey, guys, really appreciate all you guys being on. Go ahead and subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. I'm going to be bringing you guys this content all year round. I'm going to see if I can figure out what exactly I should stream about once the NFL season starts and best ball drafts are done. Maybe we go into the weekly drafts that Underdog drops. I have a lot of money already allocated to Underdog, so we'll just continue to keep working on it. But let's see. Our team so far is Justin Fields at quarterback, Tony P, Breece Hall, Alvin Kamara, running back, Cooper Kupp, DJ Moore, Deontay Johnson, Jameson Williams, a wide receiver, Darren Waller at tight end. Few guys I can take at my pick. Alex Mack said you could do weekly or updates on your team's performances. So yeah, I think I could do a blend of both. I like that idea. I don't want to. Oh, Dread Pirate Roberts. He took Damian Harris from me. I want to talk about Damian Harris really quick. Damian Harris, guys, it's week 17 revenge game season for Damian Harris. Damian Harris might be the RB1 in the week 17 slate. So I need to have more Damian Harris. I think Damian Harris is a phenomenal pick in the 10th round. Kudos to Dread Pirate Roberts for seeing the light and going ahead and sniping him. Sky Moore also sniped for me. So I hate you, Sack Dance. You sniped Sky Moore for me because Sky Moore is my breakout wide receiver this year. But that's okay. We're going to go ahead and take Mr. Alan Lazard because I think Alan Lazard is a great wide receiver. And the fact that Aaron Rodgers loves him and brought him over to the New York Jets kind of speaks to the chemistry that those two share. So Alan Lazard, he'll have some spike weeks. He'll have a consistent weekly floor as well. So I like getting Alan Lazard as our wide receiver 5. 0XD asks, at cost, are you Cook or Harris? I think it's fine taking them both. I think they're both a little bit too cheap, especially tied to that Buffalo offense, which I think is going to be the best offense in the NFL this year. Rusty Shackleford says Sky Heart Eyes or Star Eyes. Yes, I love Sky Moore. I think he's going to be a phenomenal player this year. I couldn't have enough Sky Moore. But it's about to be back on us. We could go Darnell Mooney, but I think that takes a little bit away from DJ Moore, and I want to go a little bit of a different route with that pick. Could go Odell or Zay here, or Jacoby. I think any of these guys really are going to be great this year. We'll lean on this. Let's go Odell. Odell is our wide receiver 6. 11 picks after ADP. And I don't have enough Odell. I already have 18% Zay Jones, 8% Jacoby Myers, but only 2% Odell. I know that there's no stacks here, but I think it's okay just to have a one-off, and we could have just like another skinny stack with like a Odell and like a Jeff Wilson or an Odell Raheem Mostert, something like that down near at the end of the draft. And I feel like there's a lot of concern around Odell because he's hasn't played in 2 years? I guess 1 year because he played in the Super Bowl when the Rams won, but he tore his ACL in that game and sat out the entire year last year. I think Odell is going to be just fine. And he's a bet I like to take here in the 11th round. Feels pretty late for the upside that he has. The other guys I like in this range are like Zay Jones and Jacoby Myers. I think both of them are going to be phenomenal as well. So great pick, Dread Pirate Roberts. I really like the draft that you're putting together. Tua, J.K. Dobbins, Cam Akers, Damian Harris, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, DK Metcalf, Christian Watson, Jordan Addison, Jacoby Myers, Pat Freiermuth. Dread Pirate Roberts, you are putting together a phenomenal team. But my quarterback's going to blow yours out of the water. Justin Fields over Tua. Justin Fields offers that insane rushing upside that I love having on my Best Ball Mania team. I think he's going to help propel me into the playoffs. We will see, though. I'm loving that I'm getting to compete against so many of you guys every single day. This is going to be fun. These leagues are going to be very, very fun. But I'm betting on the JMO guy to really break out in a big way. So last year I was all about Jameson Williams league winner. I'm going to be back on that train. Jameson Williams league winner once again. J. Power Roberts says 2 infields are my highest drafted. That's phenomenal. My highest drafted is Josh Allen. I probably was taking too much Josh Allen, but that's when he was like falling into like the mid to late third. And I love DJ Moore, so I'm going to have more of that DJ Moore, Justin Fields stack. Alex Mack says, I never heard your opinion on JT this year. Richardson add help or hurt his value? I think JT is getting drafted too late. I love JT at his current price of like the mid-second round. In previous years, last year he was the 101. And I know he did have a pretty piss-poor year, but that Colts offensive line really took a major step back. Matt Ryan was a skeleton of his previous self. That Colts entire offense was very dysfunctional. I think Jonathan Taylor, he also was dealing with that high ankle sprain, which doesn't help for highly explosive running backs like Jonathan Taylor. I think Jonathan Taylor will be just fine. I think he's going to return to being a top 5 running back in the NFL. He was an insane college prospect. He's an insane rusher of the football. I think he'll be fine. Maybe he loses some rushing touchdowns to Anthony Richardson, but I think it's not going to hurt his value all that much because he'll probably still see close to 10 touchdowns this year. So I like JT. And then you also asked, what's my opinion on London? If you want my opinion on London, you should check out my Unending Rebuild podcast at Unending Rebuild on Twitter, on Spotify, and on Apple Podcasts. So highly recommend you guys check that out. We kind of broke down all the players that we liked, and Drake London was one of the guys that we considered one of our guys this year, just because he feels like he's getting drafted essentially at his floor. I think in Best Ball Mania, I'm not as in on Drake London as I am in managed leagues, because I think Drake London is going to provide you that solid like double-digit floor week to week, and he'll see some spike weeks to like 20 points, 25 points. But I think his upside is a little bit capped because the Falcons' offense is just going to be so run-heavy this year. They've completely overhauled that offense just to really focus on the run game. They kind of told us exactly what they're going to do by drafting Bijan Robinson at 8th overall. They have the best rushing offensive line in the NFL. They have a quarterback who fits a system to hand the ball off, to add that RPO, to hit the time routes, because I think he's a very accurate passer. Doesn't have necessarily the arm strength to push the ball downfield, but you don't need to when you're going to be facing a lot of stacked boxes and rushing the football primarily. So looks like we're back on the clock. Didn't anticipate Jared Goff being here so far after ADP, and to match him up with Jameson Williams. Jared Goff on the road isn't great, but he is playing in a dome again. All right, so far after ADP, let's screw it. Let's go ahead and take Jared Goff as our second quarterback. Going in division a little bit, and I get to stack him with Jameson Williams, so that feels pretty nice. But when it comes back to us, interesting spot here. There's a few guys that I really like. We do have Darren Waller. We could go Rondale, but I think I'm going to go Higbee. Maybe I think Jared Goff was the incorrect selection there, even though he was 14 picks a whole round after ADP. But I think that there's ways that we can correct this. Let's go Higbee and get our second tight end. So we're just going to have a 2 tight end build with just Darren Waller and Tyler Higbee. I think those are both solid picks. And looks like all of the running backs in this range were kind of empty. So don't love those past 2 picks, but that's okay. I think getting our quarterback 2 and our tight end 2 feels about right at that range. Maybe we'll take like a super late third quarterback. We'll see, though. We will see, guys. Steven says, hi. What's up, Steven? Good to see you here again. Seeing that I'm currently at 30% JT. I love that take and hope that it holds. 37%. How many drafts have you done, Tank? 37% is very high on a second round pick. So do you not have any like Waddle? You don't have any Saquon, Nick Chubb, Amon-Ra, Tony Pollard? I'm curious what your exposures are on all of those. Steven says, are we doing a weekly winner? I just got in the live, just woke up, hit that like button. Let's go. Thank you, Steven. Thank you for that like. I am not doing a weekly winner. This is a Best Ball Mania draft. Steven, on this stream all summer long, we're just going to be rattling off Best Ball Mania drafts. So, yeah, I think, damn, I wish I had more running backs, but it looks like a lot of the running backs have been taken. Went a little running back heavy in the 9th round here. Pretty running back heavy in the 10th and the 12th. But that's okay. Like, we don't necessarily need any of these running backs. We'll fill it out at the end of the draft. Jerome Ford goes in the 13th. That is wild that Jerome Ford goes that high. He's the Nick Chubb owner. See, I think this is doing it incorrectly. The Nick Chubb, because if we're trying to hit ceiling weeks, like the Nick Chubb and Jerome Ford, I think if you're going to handcuff your running back, I want it to be an 18th round handcuff. A 17th, 18th, like maybe the max I'd go is like a 16th round handcuff. That's why when I was drafting Jerome Ford, I was taking Jerome Ford in the 16th. And I wasn't even taking Jerome Ford on my Nick Chubb teams. So spending I don't know. I flip-flop on this take because sometimes I do like to stack or to handcuff my running backs by grabbing another guy. But I think if I'm spending elite draft capital, like a 2nd round Nick Chubb, I don't think I want to take a 13th round Jerome Ford because that means you're betting against your Nick Chubb bet. Because for Jerome Ford to have, I know he does have contingent standalone value, but that's only like, 6-7 carries, like 40 yards, so 4 points. And then if he scores a touchdown, that takes a touchdown away from Nick Chubb. And that means basically the ceiling for Jerome Ford is if Nick Chubb gets hurt. So if Nick Chubb gets hurt, your 2nd round pick is out. Are you really going to bank on advancing your team if your 2nd round pick is out? I don't know. That doesn't feel like an optimal way to play it. I think if you're going to handcuff your running back, you want to go. Like what I've been doing is handcuffing Alvin Kamara because Alvin Kamara, I'm betting like, yeah, all of the suspension risk is already baked in. So, okay, let's say Alvin Kamara is suspended the first 6 weeks. I'm also adding a Jamal Williams, a Kendre Miller. Jamal Williams got taken here at the 12th pick. Kendre Miller at the 12th, so I'm not going to be able to handcuff him in this specific draft. But I have been grabbing a lot of Kamara, Jamal Williams, Kamara, Kendre Miller, because there are very realistic outcomes where all 3 of them can have standalone value, put up decent points. And if my 9th round pick doesn't hit immediately, that's fine. Like I'm okay with that because I still get ceiling outcomes for my 12th, 13th round pick. So I think if you're going to take a 2nd round or a handcuff to one of your 2nd round running backs, it should be very, very late. And if you're going to handcuff a running back, it should be from the middling rounds. But let's see. Let's engage with the chat a little bit. We're 6 picks away. Stafford did get sniped from us. That's unfortunate. Why is he taking Stafford? Makes no sense. But that's okay. We'll just bet that everything just funnels into Cooper Kupp. Everything funnels into Cooper Kupp and Tyler Higbee. Damn, that means Stafford's going on. All right, that means Justin Fields. We need Justin Fields to go off week 17. Damn, I needed Stafford though. Stafford, I probably should have taken Stafford over Jared Goff. That probably was an incorrect pick. But that's okay. We'll figure out ways to get our ceiling weeks. Let's see what is the chat going down with. Let's see, Steven, what do you think about handcuffing Pollard to either Davis or Deuce? Yeah, I mean I think that's fine. Like I have Tony Pollard, so we can handcuff him with Malik Davis in the 18th round. It's fair. Chief running backs, the only running backs like stack. Yeah, like Chiefs running backs go late, so I think that's fine too. Let's see. We probably need another running back. I don't need another tight end. Damn. Weird range. I don't love any of these players, honestly. Damn. I guess we'll just take Donta Foreman. I know he's not the greatest bet with having Justin Fields on our team, but I think Donta Foreman gets solid work. And I think he's going a little bit too late. 14th round feels about right for Donta Foreman as our RB4. This feels like a 6 running back build. This is probably going to be 6 running backs, 7 wide receivers, maybe 8 wide receivers. I didn't want DJ Chark here, even though he is top on the board. I think there's other guys that I'd rather have. Let's see. Vikings, Chiefs, Cowboys, Titans. Titans. You know who we could look at, actually, from the Titans? Do I have any Houston guys? I don't have any Houston. I do like Laporta as well, but I already have 2 pretty solid tight ends. I don't think I need Laporta. And I could opt to go a little bit of a different route and just stack another one of our wide receivers. And a guy that I really, really like. But I could also go. That's pretty far ahead of ADP. All right, I'm not gonna reach that far down the board. I think we're gonna go with our 3rd quarterback instead of our 3rd tight end. There are 2 options I could go here. I could either go Laporta or I could go Pickett. And I think I'd rather go 3 quarterbacks and 3 tight ends. Even though like Justin Fields, yes, he has all that upside in the world. But if potentially that last game, we're gonna bet on this Seahawks-Steelers game a little bit, and kind of the narrative which I've been going with all offseason. I mean, I love Kenny Pickett. I think Kenny Pickett's a phenomenal quarterback. I think he's going to be great this year. But I'm just going to keep drafting Kenny Pickett. But kind of the play with Kenny Pickett is he has like low-key rushing upside. If you guys don't remember, there's specifically a rule in football now that bans fake slides because of Kenny Pickett, because of that phenomenal run that Kenny Pickett put down in the ACC championship game. I think last year was kind of a developmental year. It's a rookie quarterback rookie year. And I thought he was really, really solid down the stretch. And one guy which I will bet on every single time is Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin is one of the best coaches in the NFL. And I think Mike Tomlin could really boost this entire Pittsburgh offense. And Kenny Pickett is going to be a huge benefactor. Deontay Johnson is going to be a huge benefactor. So I'm loving this 3-4-6-2 that I have right now. We're obviously going to continue to build it out with some more running backs and wide receivers, but our quarterbacks and tight ends feel really, really good at this point. It's a little bit disappointing I don't have a quarterback in this Giants-Rams game, but we have a lot of the weapons where if these guys score and we get a spike week from one of our quarterbacks, this team could hit and win the $3 million in week 17. Because I like the players that we have to get us there. Let's see. Lucas asks, will you be streaming weekly winners drafts? I'll probably do a few. I'm not going to do a ton of them just because I am allocating so much of my bankroll to maxing out Best Ball Mania because I'm going for the $3 million. But I will do a few weekly winners drafts here or there, and I will stream them for you guys. Pangs, Davis. This is the place to look for local Best Ball singles in my area. I don't know if that's the right question. You might be asking the wrong question here, Davis. But let's go. Let's see. There's a few guys I like here in this range. Let's see. I think we're gonna want to go back to. Ooh, guys. This is a very interesting spot that we're in. A few guys that I really like. Could go Chase Brown. Let's see. We have how many picks left? We have 3 picks left, 16, 17, 18. Curtis went. I wanted Curtis. We're probably going to allocate it to 2 more running backs, 1 more wide receiver. That feels about right. Did our guy Bryce Young? That's fine. Wow, Ham already has 7 running backs. Oh, this is the guy that took Stafford from us. Ham, appreciate your donation to the stream. Looks like he's the Madison drafter too. I mean, like I like the players. I like most of the players that Ham was able to get. I just don't think the roster construction is correct. I don't think he constructed his roster optimally. The players that he's betting on are good players. But one of the most important thing when you're drafting Best Ball Mania is your roster construction, like how you're going about allocating the draft capital. And I think this is a very heavy, robust running back build. And then if you're going to go robust running back, you should probably also have an elite quarterback or an elite tight end, or an elite tight end, because you're kind of pushing the wide receivers down the board. So you need the elite production from the other picks. So I don't love the build that Ham went with here. Where's another elite running back build? So Fox Hunter also went robust running back, and he did it correctly. Fox Hunter went CMC, Ramondre, Joe Mixon as his elite running back, so has T. Higgins as his anchor wide receiver, and then has Herbert, Dallas Goedert as his quarterback tight end. That's how you do it. You grab the elite guys at the quarterback tight end position at the one-offs because you're punting a wide receiver. And he was still able to get Mike Evans, Dave Flowers, Michael Thomas, Nico Collins. So I'm really a big fan of Fox Hunter's build. I think he is a great team. But looks like Jalen Hyatt falls to us. I'm a huge Jalen Hyatt fan at his current price. And getting our 7th wide receiver, additionally with this kind of stacked out game of the Cooper Kupp, Jalen Hyatt, Darren Waller, Tyler Higbee, because Jalen Hyatt has immense spike week potential. He was the Bolitnikoff winner last year. And to get him in the 16th round at wide receiver 80 is wild. Like I will bet on Jalen Hyatt's upside every single time. And if anybody's going to utilize Jalen Hyatt correctly, it's Brian Dabble. So I don't have any of the quarterbacks in that game, but we're betting on a spike week from one of these 3 boys, which is very possible. But perfect. We're going to grab Jeff Wilson here. Kind of exactly how I said it from the very beginning. We're going to go skinny stack with Jeff Wilson, Odell Beckham. So we have a few skinny stacks here. We have the Tony Pollard, Jared Goff, Jameson Williams. We have the Breece Hall, Alan Lazard. We don't have any of the Cleveland players, but that's fine. We have the Donta Foreman, Justin Fields, DJ Moore. We have Cooper Kupp, Darren Waller, Tyler Higbee, Jalen Hyatt. We have the Alan Lazard, Breece Hall. And then we have the Jeff Wilson, Odell Beckham. So I think our last pick is going to be a running back. Which running back? I don't know yet. We're still waiting to find out. I have a few ideas of how I could go with my final pick. I think we're gonna go running back. We could go handcuff in Izzy or Malik Davis if we want to go with the handcuff route. Don't love either of those. Let's see. Yeah, I don't love any of these guys down here. I was just seeing if there's any diamonds in the rough, like way down here, because I've never really explored this far down. This is interesting going this far down. Nyheim Hines is an interesting guy. Nyheim Hines could see a spike week here or there. But everyone else, Tyler Beatty is actually a guy that I really liked coming out of college. And maybe he turns into something. I don't know. Julius Chestnut, that's my boy. Tyjae Spears backup right there. Salvon Ahmed actually flashed in the playoffs. I thought he was a pretty solid running back. I'm surprised that he's so low owned. But he's definitely like way far down. Like I'm never drafting Salvon Ahmed. Rusty says Keontae. I like Keontae Ingram as well. I think that's going to be a pretty heavy running back. That's going to be a heavy run offense. And I do like Keontae Ingram in the 18th round. Packers, Vikings. I think the Vikings boys. I know Dwayne McBride is also a potential option. Ravens boys, J.K. Dobbins, Gus Edwards. We went with Jeff Wilson for the Dolphins. Titans, I know Tyjae Spears we all love. Broncos, Samaje Perine, Javonte Williams. Seahawks, obviously Kenneth Walker, Zach Charbonnet. Not a whole lot of juice with any of these lasting guys. Rams is the one, but I'm going with the passing in the Rams, not the rushing offense because we missed on Cam Akers. Cowboys, Tony Pollard, Malik Davis is an option. But I think there's one guy. There's one guy which I want. I'm keeping it hidden, so none of you guys fall. None of you try to snipe me. But there's one guy which I am very high on. Peng says Josh Kelly. I like Josh Kelly too. Think he's great. Think he fits the narrative as well. Alex Max says Cordero. I think Cordero got taken, right? Where did Cordero go? Yeah, Cordero went in the 17th, right after Jeff Wilson. So I do like Cordero a lot this year. Could have taken Cordero as a bring back on the Justin Fields, but I don't think my projections have Atlanta scoring. Where's Falcons? My projections have Atlanta scoring like 13 points against the Bears, week 17. Rusty says I have Zach Evans at 41%. Yeah, I hate Zach Evans. I will not have any Zach Evans this year. I don't think I have any Zach Evans. What's my Zach Evans exposure? Yeah, 0% Zach Evans. And I think it'll probably stay that way. Puka, love me some Puka. Chase Claypool, love Chase Claypool as well. I already have a ton of Chase Claypool, and I know he fits this team, but I'm banking on the DJ Moore. The DJ Moore, Justin Fields to go off that game. I think Chase Claypool does show up week 1 and just balls, though. We're betting on Jalen Hyatt to steal Darius Slayton's stuff, so not going Darius Slayton. And I already have my 7 receivers. I think I'm going to stick to 7 receivers. I think I'm going to go 6 running back with the potential Alvin Kamara suspension, and maybe Breece Hall starts. Jeff Wilson could go off. Yeah, my running back room is a lot weaker than my wide receiver room. So we're going to go with the running back. I think the one guy that I do want to go. So I think I want to go with Eric Gray. I think we're going to bet on Breece Hall and Tony P to stay healthy. And I'm going to go with Mr. Eric Gray down here. Eric Gray, he's like the one guy. They talked about this on the Spike Week podcast. Eric Gray has bell cow upside if Saquon goes down. Like, yes, Malik Davis and Israel Abanikanda both are very solid rushers of the football. I don't think they have bell cow upside in the event of an injury. I think Eric Gray is one of the only rookie running backs down in the 18th round that have bell cow upside, because Eric Gray did it all at Oklahoma. Eric Gray performed phenomenally at Oklahoma. Who are the other bell cow guys that we could see down here in the event of an injury? Sean Tucker, I could see as a bell cow. There's not a whole lot of upside. I mean, I guess Ronald Jones, but I'm not going to keep betting on Ronald Jones. But I think I'm going to go. I think I need more Izzy for sure. But I think I want to go more Izzy on my non-Breece Hall teams. Because if we're betting on Izzy, then we're not betting on Breece Hall. But I think it's fine to handcuff Breece Hall with Izzy. Maybe we'll start doing that a little bit more. I could have handcuffed with Malik Davis. But I think Eric Gray makes the most sense on this team since we have so many Giants-Rams. And we are betting on that game. So basically we're betting on the Giants-Rams game to spike. And we're also betting at the same time on Justin Fields, DJ Moore to spike against the Falcons. And then our contingency is Jared Goff, Jameson Williams spiking against the Cowboys, or Kenny Pickett, Deontay Johnson spiking against the Seahawks. I think I could, if I were to switch something, I would go back and take Matthew Stafford. I think that would have been my one thing that I would switch, was I would have taken Matthew Stafford over Jared Goff right here at the 12. Stafford ended up going in the 14th, but I probably would have taken Stafford here at the 13th. I probably should have taken Higbee at 12 and then Stafford at 13, because this Rams spike week is our golden spot right here, and that would have helped with the Cooper Kupp bet. So I think that was our one mistake. But other than that, I love this team. Think that this team definitely has a shot for the $3 million, and I think that's going to do it for us, folks. I think that's going to do it for us. Really appreciate all of you guys supporting the stream by watching the full hour. but I'm going to take a break for the weekend. Maybe if you guys get lucky, I'll do maybe a Sunday stream, but not making any promises. This is a Monday through Friday Best Ball Mania stream, every lunch break at 12 p.m. But that's going to do it for me, folks, and I hope you all have a good rest of your day. Peace.